Lemon Techno.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this week's top 3 Hacker News articles. The first one is a quite sad, heartfelt one from indie game developer Lars Doucet. It recounts the story of how his son suffered traumatic head injury and basically transformed their lives completely forever. The article provides a lot of insight into grief, loss, and basically gives perspective on what it feels like to be in that sort of situation. Even though it's quite a sad article, it does offer a glimmer of hope towards the end where it mentions that you should try to cling on to joy. Obviously, I won't be giving this article a score because it is quite a personal event that took place, yet I would recommend reading it just because it kind of opens up doors into how someone else felt and how to deal with certain situations yourself. It goes without saying that my heart goes out to you, Lars. On the comments side of things, Lars chipped in as well, mentioning that it was one of 3 things that he wrote in the immediate aftermath, also including a poem and a short story. Quite a few people also chimed in afterwards with messages either of support or of their own stories of dealing with grief and similar situations. Article number 2 is a 404 dog. No, I'm just kidding. The original listing it was pointing to was taken down, but there is this web archive version of it so you can have a quick look at what it was all about. And you can see the main catastrophe here that was the center of attention of discussion on this article in Hacker News. And that is this ChatGPT generated response, which probably came from automation, basically having bots that automatically create listings in different languages, etc., and post them directly on the website. And in this case, it malfunctioned. This is completely outrageous, and if you thought that automated AI videos were bad, then this is a step further. It's quite scummy behavior from the company that made this listing, and I would put it on the same bucket as dropshipping. In the comments, we can see this one from LJM that mentions how Amazon has gone from customer obsession to the lowest of the lowest common denominator. A reply to that from Andre Not Giant mentions that everything on Amazon is shady knockoff garbage. Unfortunately, this kind of mirrors my own experience with Amazon lately, where even today I received a light bulb that was supposed to be an E27 and I received an E14, and I'm like, well, in this case I didn't pay too much for it, but it still sucks that you see listings with wrong descriptions and you get the wrong thing, or you sometimes don't even get it at all. And this post is going to end up with a 6 because this absolutely sucks, and there is no real article, it's just pointing towards the URL, and yeah, but the comments are quite negative as well, obviously, because it's about a shady kind of weird topic in general, but yeah, there's not too much to dive into. Moving on to article number 3, it is this post on Stack Exchange from 6 years, 7 months ago, so it's quite old, and it was posted by Gmauch or Gmauch. The title of the question is, which word begins with a Y and looks like an axe in this picture? You can see it's a ball with letters and pictograms representing a word starting with that letter. You can see that the ball was bought in Porto Alegre in southern Brazil. It also has the letters DNE, which presumably would have been the company name that created the ball. The top answer has 822 votes and is an absolute whirlwind. It starts off by mentioning that the son's ball probably mixed in a Swedish word for yxa, which is just axe in Swedish. Then it goes into a full investigation, warts and all, contacting different people, trying to figure out things, piece things together, list all the evidence and whatnot. And finally, a user from Hacker News found the company that it was in question, and then they were able to find the website, and at the very end they came back to the same conclusion from the start, that it was just yxa, axe in Swedish. However, in the end, it is such an amazing read. I would really recommend it just because it gives you a perspective into how to research things, how the mind of the author worked when trying to figure out the puzzle, right? All in all, I'm gonna have to give this article a 9 because it was such an interesting read. Finally, the bonus link of the day, a website to find the best bus seat to avoid the sun while traveling. It was made by Amith V, who created this domain, sitinshade.com. You can enter the time, the origin, and the destination, and it will tell you what percentage of the journey would have sun on the left and which one on the right, and then based on that you can make the best choice when you go into the bus. Furthermore, it should also work just as fine for cars and trains. In the comment, the website author also chips in mentioning that the hard part was obtaining information such as solar azimuth, altitude, declination, hour, angle, etc. without using external APIs, spending about 5 days to implement the backend. The formulas for this must look absolutely ridiculous. And this post is going to have a score of 9 because it might be quite useful for a lot of people. That said, this is going to be the end of this week's top Hacker News articles. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment in the description below if you like this format, if you would prefer if it was more articles or less, if the frequency is good enough for you, etc. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you next week.